Hi everybody, so today I have got another holiday release. I have managed to pick up another one, and that one is the Bobbi Brown. This one is the Pac-Man collection. I haven't even unboxed these yet, but I can tell you now that there's a blue shade in here mixed with some browns and sort of orangey colours, which have been fabulous combinations so far from other holiday releases. So I really wanted to test this out, and I do love Bobbi Brown formulas. I've also picked up the highlighter from this collection and one of the plumping serum glosses, so I cannot wait to try all of these on for you today. This will be my very first impression. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 47, not a professional, just somebody who loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I like to show you my favourite looks, my favourite products, give you any beauty news, but most of all, review the latest releases. And my skin tone, if that's helpful for matching these colours, I've got fair to light skin with neutral/cool undertones, and I've got blue eyes. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into this video. So the day I'm uploading this, we're in the heart of Black Friday deals. I don't believe this collection is going to be within the Black Friday deal, unfortunately. One thing that does come with this collection is you can pick up 2 skincare products, one of them being the vitamin enriched face base, which I have absolutely raved about for the most of the year, but especially in the last 6 months. It's become my #1 primer. I love this. But I didn't get it with the collection because it's at full price. I actually got it in the Black Friday deal, so I got this 25% off. So this 100ml is £84 and it'll probably last me most of the year, and I paid £54. So great time to stock up, especially on things like this. So I skipped the Pac-Man version because the only difference is Pac-Man is on the jar. Inside you're getting exactly the same formula, so I'm definitely pleased with that bargain, but everything else is not in the sale. But if you do have any Bobbi Brown favourites, I would recommend looking through the site, as you can with pretty much every site at the moment, and pick up a bargain. So some people I have seen aren't overly keen on something like Pac-Man as a theme for makeup. I personally think it's good fun, and being somebody who grew up in the 80s, Pac-Man was massive, so every time we went to, we live by the sea here, and we used to go to the arcades a lot, so we were always playing on slot machines in the arcades by the sea. Pac-Man was always one of my favourite games, so it's a bit nostalgic for me. And to be fair, some of the best collections I've ever got from Bobbi Brown, especially over the last year, have been collaborations or collections such as these with themes. For instance, this one that launched I think very early last year, and that's the Powerpuff Girls. Some of the best one and done shades I've got in my collection right now. So I'm not going to say this is my favourite packaging because it definitely isn't, but then inside you get these most incredible formulas. Bobbi Brown really does have some wow formulas, very sort of Pat McGrath level, Pat McGrath old wow sort of powder level is what I'm talking when I say that. And she also released this gorgeous one, which was a collaboration with Kerry Rosenthal. This has actually stayed in my top drawer ever since, and this one had all of these fabulous formulas. So I'm sure this one would be more popular in terms of the actual packaging, because it is just gorgeous, isn't it? So I'm not going to necessarily think the Pac-Man packaging is my favourite, but I do like the nostalgia side. So let's look straight away at the eyeshadows. So literally haven't seen this at all yet. So we've seen the box, and then inside we have this. Oh, look. And they move. Yeah, look, they move. Oh, that's so cool. I don't know if you can actually, no, I don't, you can play a game with them, can you? But they move. Oh, I love that. So cool. I love it. So it's obviously got this very thick lid. I think it still looks really smart though, with the Bobbi Brown logo. And then you get these little Pac-Man moving around. That's just so cool. Right, let's look at what's inside. Hopefully there's no problem with it, seeing as I haven't checked it yet. No, it all looks great. Very thick, chunky packaging, very heavy, very luxe feeling. Very nice big mirror, and look at these colours. Very different set of colours, but they're actually colours that really appeal to me, especially these 2 shades here with the blue. So I'm really looking forward to putting them together. I'm not sure if I'd be skipping the gold actually. I'll have to see what the other shimmers are like. So I'll do a swatch of the mattes first. So here is the lightest one, which is like a base shade, which you're not really going to see on my hand. And then the 2 browns. So this is the darker of the two browns. This one's more of a sort of peachy brown. Really nice, really good for this time of year. Then the blue, which really had me interested. It's a lighter blue than the ones we've seen from eyeshadow palettes that have been coming out for Christmas. They've been more dark blues. So the black is going over my knuckles, so it does look a little bit patchy, mostly because it's going over my knuckles there. But it's swatching fine actually. So those mattes look really good actually. Might put the shimmers on this hand so we can just see them all together. I'm not very good at doing this with my left hand, so bear with me. So here is the gold. And then the next one, it looks like more of a topper shade to me. Yeah, I think that would be more of a topper really, or inner corner under the brow. And then the last one is a sort of, well, it looked pinky. It's not reading very pinky. Oh, it is, yeah. It's like a shifty one. Look, you can see the pink as I move my hand. So yeah, I think that would probably be the one I'd like to use with the blue more than the gold, I think. I'll see how I feel as I go along. We have the 5 mattes and we have these 3 shimmers. I don't think these shimmers are the same sort of finish as the ones in the Emma Rosenthal. I'll just swatch one of these gold ones. I can feel straight away they're not, because these ones, they feel, I don't know if they're the Baked Gelée formula, but they certainly feel like they are. And I really don't think that these ones here are now. So this is the one from the Emma Rosenthal there. These look like more standard shimmers in this palette, so that's a bit of a shame. But yeah, this one, they're just exceptional, those formulas. They are gorgeous. And the same with the Powerpuff Girls collection. They had that really fabulous formula. I'll put that one next to this pink. You'll see the difference. So here is the Powerpuff one, and here is the pinky one. Obviously I'm not expecting them to be the same colour, but just look at the finish on these. This formula is fabulous. This is as good as, I think, as Pat McGrath's top formula, the Baked Gelée formula. So these ones are not reading the same way. But anyway, let's not judge it yet, let's get it on. But I am a bit disappointed about that. I was hoping they were going to be the same formula. So reading the description, it says that these are velvety mattes, shimmering toppers, and a gleaming metallic. So I think the reason they're different is the gold is the gleaming metallic, and both of these are topper shades, which is making me possibly rethink how I do this. Maybe I'll take the blue all over the lid. I was thinking of having blue to line and outer V sort of area, and then one of these in the first sort of third of the lid, but now I'm seeing them swatched. It means skipping out on the gold though. Decisions. Well, I'll start with the blue. I will start with the blue. I wasn't going to, but that's completely changed my mind. So let's start with it with the Refa 01. Let's see how much pigment this has got. Quite a bit actually. So I'm starting here where I'd probably want there to be a bit more. Oh, that is quite a bit of pigment. That's a nice shade of blue, that. I wouldn't want that much pigment all over the lid. Taking a little bit of time there to blend out, which often happens with a blue, but it is blending out. So now that it's starting to blend and not be quite as strong, I'm going to start taking it on the lid. So this look has completely changed from the one I was planning. I was planning on putting those 2 browns in the outer V. The lighter is my transition and the stronger as my sort of depth outer V shade. Let's hope I can incorporate them into that outer V though with this blue. I think I'll take the Refa 14 and the lighter of the 2 browns, and I'm going to just take this around the top here, sort of soften it, and hopefully see a little peak of that colour just above the blue there. And I think that works quite well actually. I'm just taking a little bit more on the brush, trying to make sure my hand is at the lower end of this brush, so it's a really, really light application. Yeah, that's softening the blue and bringing that little bit of warmth there. Yeah, I like those, you know, I really like those colours together. I'm going to run this as well underneath, not the blue, just this light brown matte. So now I'm going to go in with the Shodo Refa brush 03, and I'm going to try a little bit of this deeper matte, just a little bit here. Now I don't want to lose the blue, I just want to darken it a little bit here using this shade. So just taking this into the outer V and bringing it slightly onto the lid there, a sort of soft addition of depth. These colours do work together very nicely, and maybe colours you might not think of using together, but when you see them together they really do work, don't they? Let's just do the same on the other side. And now the Refa 14 Mini, so the smaller version of that. Sorry, Florrie, my dog, is barking at everything outside again. I'm just going to take this just to see if that slightly softens a little bit more, going around the edges of everything I've done now, above and below. Can't really see this shade much, it's very much a sort of skin colour. So it's a good shade if you make a mistake and you want to fix it. So it's quite good for softening here. But it's not giving me any sort of pop of light or anything under the brow. So I might need to use one of these shimmers for that. Now, I personally would leave the gold out. I like the sort of soft look I'm getting from this at the moment, and I would just be happy to apply a topper now. But I feel like you're going to want to see the gold because it's such a prominent colour. So I will put a little bit on my finger and just put some by here. It won't actually be quite as bright a gold when I'm putting it on top of the blue, I suppose. I'm not sure that goes with these colours, and that's why I didn't really want to reach for it. I think all these colours work together nicely, but I'm just not convinced about the gold. What do you think? I'm not going to intensify this because I really don't want to have too much of this gold. I'm going to leave it there now, and I'll try this pinkier one, which is definitely more of a topper. Oh, that really shows it nicely on the blue. So I knew I wanted to use them on the blue. I'm going to do this all over. I'll use the lightest one in the inner corner because I really like the way that this looks over the blue. And you can see if I hadn't gone in with that gold, how really good that would look over the blue. It would give quite a sort of icy finish. I really like that. So I almost feel this gold isn't really supposed to be in this palette. That topper is really nice, really effective. Zero fallout as well at the moment, which is excellent because I've tried all the formulas now. I'm actually going to take this over that gold to try and reduce it down. So you've seen the gold in its sort of full effect, but I'm going to hopefully dim it down a bit with this because I really just don't think it works. I can't completely lose it doing this, but I can certainly dim it down. I'll take that Refa 14 now and just sweep this through the crease so that I know that everything's blended nicely together there. I'm going to take this last one that I haven't tried from the shimmer and pop this in the inner corner. And this one looks like it's got a hint of blue in the pan. It's very good. I just don't see where that gold is. It's like they're mixing silvers with golds, which really don't go together. They're not silvers, but they are almost like bluish silvery tones. It's like, it's not a cool tone palette, is it? But when you mix these colours together, they do give more of a cool finish. So I don't think the gold works. Not on me anyway. So that's showing up a little bit under the brow, not a lot. Enough, I think. So I'm going to use this new Sonia G pen from the holiday release. I love this one. So this is the pencil brush, which has got this really fine tip, perfect for lining. So I will try this black. I'm hoping I can smudge this a bit so it's not too dark. So line a little bit underneath, just a tiny bit, and then I'll go back and smudge that after because I don't want it to be too dark there at all. And then I'll just bring it up a little bit here, a little bit of a wing, and then line across the lashes. And I'm actually going back with the blue using my Shodo 00, the flat part, and I'm just adding a bit of blue back in where that gold has taken the blue away because I feel like I'm losing that blue, which I really want to see. And I might even take a little bit just across the lash there. The top of the lash, I mean. Yeah, that's definitely brought the blue back, and I like the look again. It was really getting rid of that gold, which I didn't think worked. So that's the full look there with the blue, mostly with that topper, which I think works really nicely with it. I do love the combination of the browns, blues and that topper. I really do. I think they work very well together, and I think the black matte as a liner also worked very well. So mostly loving everything in this. Just not really thinking that this gold has a place in the palette, but these, certainly if I was going to go back and do this again, I would probably stick with the blue all over because I really like that, and probably stick with these two, this one for depth and this one for blending at the top, and then use one or other of these two all over the whole lid, no gold, and I think that produced a lovely look. So next time I do this, I'll do this one all over to see how different it is, because this one's got a hint of pink. But the gold for me has no place, certainly on my face, but I don't know. Would you use the gold? Do you think it has a place? I just don't think it does. But anyway, I really like the finished look. It's giving me a similar look almost to the Makeup by Mario, even though the ethereal eyes, I mean, even though this blue is nowhere near as dark, but mixed with those browns, it almost becomes as dark. It actually looks quite a similar shade. I really like it actually. So I'll just go off camera and do my mascara. And there's the finished look using the mascara. I absolutely love it now actually. I really, really do. Fixing that gold and bringing that blue back changed everything. I really, really love it. What do you think? Anyway, let's dive straight into the highlighter. Again, I haven't opened this one. So this highlighter is described as a pearl-infused illuminator, coming in the same sort of packaging. This one is £45 and you get 8 grams. So we're not getting any moving bits, which is a shame. But we're getting the same sort of theme. Just nowhere near as luxe feeling as the eyeshadow, to be fair. A lot lighter and a lot less fancy. So this one is called Afternoon Glow, which is described as a soft pink purple, which is why I had to get this. Look at the embossing, the Pac-Man embossing. I love these highlighters from Bobbi Brown. Their formulas are always phenomenal. It says on the website about this formula, perfected by Pearls, the #1 best-selling highlighter fuses the benefits of a gel and a powder for luminous cheeks, and you can use on the eyes. Innovative skin-loving powder glides over your skin with a cushiony bounce, smoothing and brightening to deliver translucent radiance that is natural looking. So this could be a little bit too deep as a highlighter for me. This might actually work more as an all-over blush. I don't have a lot in the way of blush, but I do have some on. I'm using the Repher number 20, it is, the fan. So let's see how this looks. If I just take a tiny bit for now. I'm seeing that pinky peach straight away. I actually really like it. I'm going to take it across the cheek. Like I said, I've only got a little bit of blush on at the moment. So I'm going to actually transform my whole blush into a pinky glowy blush, I think. So this would definitely work on lighter skin as a glowy blush, I think. Let me do a swatch of it actually on the back of my hand. This is such a beautiful silky soft formula. And the embossing is very deep, so it will last. Look at that. Now we've had some really nice pinky ones recently, such as the Hermes, the rose gold Hermes. I'll do a quick swatch to compare it with that actually. Here they are side by side. It's definitely got more pink, I think, than the Hermes. So this is the Hermes in shade 02, the rose. Gosh, they're quite similar, aren't they? Wow. So there's the Hermes, and here is the one from Bobbi Brown. I think I will definitely film a shorts video doing one on each side so you can see it, so look out for that. That's really similar, and the formula on this is as silky soft, so slightly cheaper option than the Hermes, which I think was around the £80 mark, so this is half the price. So if you're looking for something similar to the Hermes, this might be it, you know. Very similar. That's why I like it, because the Hermes is my current #1 highlighter of the whole year, I think. It's certainly my #1 from the Christmas collections. one of the absolute best. This feels a tiny bit more glittery and less smooth though than the Hermes. I don't know if you can see that on the cheeks or on these swatches. So here is the Bobbi Brown. There's just something a little bit smoother about the Hermes, but really, really, really close. So I don't know if it could completely take over from the Hermes, but I really, really, really like it. Beautiful. Definitely worth getting this if the Hermes was on your wish list and you want to save a bit of money. And you never know, they might even put this in a sale next year, maybe in January or something, so something to keep an eye out for. Absolutely love that. Delighted with it. I was looking forward to it, but it's actually surpassed expectations. Really, really like that. So now the last one I've got to try, and I do believe they've released lipsticks and 2 shades of this serum. This is the, so taken out of the packaging, we've got the same packaging. So we've got the Pac-Man lid. So this is the Extra Plump Lip Serum. This is £32, you get 6 millilitres, and this shade is called Bare Plum, which is a red chocolate brown. So I'm hoping it doesn't translate quite as deep as that on me, because it'd be too deep, I think. It does actually say this is a new formula. The Extra Plump Lip Serum delivers the lip-loving blend of 6 botanical oils in the extra lip tint, plus extra plumping, powered by exclusive Extra Plump Complex, a volumizing lip conditioner which delivers instant and up to 24-hour moisture and 8-hour shine, whilst visibly plumping lips and smoothing the appearance of fine lines. So 24 hours moisture I would never agree with. That's never happened with anything for me, but I will put a comment below now when I'm editing in a couple of hours time to let you know if my lips still feel hydrated. So here's the doe foot on this, and hopefully it won't be too strong on me. Being a lip serum, I would never get a lipstick in this shade, but for a lip serum it might translate a lot more sheer, which it is. And that way it works for me. And I do like to get a coloured serum because very often they just have very little pigment completely and they just don't show up at all. But this is actually showing up quite nicely, just the right amount. I do have a little bit of dry lips here in the centre right now, so please ignore that, that's nothing to do with this. It does feel super hydrating. Very, very hydrating. Very aware of it on my lips, but not sticky. My lips are not sticking together. It doesn't feel terribly grippy though. I'm not sure how long this will last, so I will put a comment below, but I do really like that. I think that's a really pretty shade for a lip serum. Very easy to apply. I don't think you can make mistakes with this. You could do it very easily, almost without a mirror. Very, very nice. And the packaging again, I really like it. So there we go. There is my full look using this entire collection. What do you think? So here is my final look with this eyeshadow, and now I've got rid of that gold mostly. I really, really like it. I think it's gorgeous. And it is reminding me of a few of those Christmas releases I mentioned. So I've actually got them out to do a quick few swatch comparisons. So if we look side by side between the blue and the light shimmers in the Lancome, the Celestial Rose palette here from Lancome, and this one from Bobbi Brown. So here are the blue and that sort of silvery topper from the Bobbi Brown, and here they are compared with the Lancome. Very different. They are both shimmers in the Lancome, but keep in mind this blue shade here is almost what I've achieved by putting it on top of that brown. So it almost becomes this shade. It does completely change. And here's the Makeup by Mario Ethereal. Again, you can see that blue is much darker. So here is the Makeup by Mario, these two here. And again, I think I achieved a very similar shade on my eye by mixing this with the brown. Please ignore this, I've got a reaction on my hand from a skincare thing I tried. And then the last one I've got in the blues is this one from Givenchy, Le 9 de Givenchy, and this one has only shimmers in, but I will compare the blue and the silver again in these two. So here are the two shades here from the Givenchy. Again, very different. These two are so similar with the Lancome. But again, I think I achieved this sort of shade by mixing it with that brown. And one thing with the Givenchy is it does have similar brown shades in it. These two here, this one's matte, but this one is shimmer. So these are the two from the Bobbi Brown, and these are the two from that Givenchy. So you are getting a similar mix here of the blues and the browns that you're getting with Bobbi Brown. And this light blue can be a light blue, or it can become this deep blue, mixing it here with this shade here of the brown. So that was quite interesting. It shows that sometimes when you're doing swatches, you don't necessarily need to look for a direct comparison. You don't need exactly the same shade, because you can learn to mix your shades. So you might already have things in your palette in your collection rather, by just mixing colours together, and then you come up with the same blue like I've done today. So I love that actually, and I love the way I can now maybe in the summer use it more as a sort of light blue shade and not build it up with that brown, and then now in the winter go for that more icy look. So I think they're really good actually. This is a fun palette, and these colours mixed together are really good fun. So I think this is a good winter look. I'm not sure if I'll ever use this gold, but in the summer the gold would come in, I suppose, so we could totally skip the blue, and then we could go for these two with the gold and just move the blue out. So when I say I'd never use the gold, I'd never use it with the blue, but it would work quite nicely with these three, I think, wouldn't it? So a few options actually, and mixing them together we're getting those two looks. So maybe 3 or 4 different looks in this palette. So there's a lot more to it now I've played with it than I originally thought. But overall, I think this packaging is absolutely beautiful. I really like it. Just watching them then as they're moving is so cool, isn't it? I love the nostalgia, but I do feel this is still luxe. I feel like it's very luxurious packaging. So you're getting the nostalgia mixed with luxe, which I think is a really nice combination. And the highlight, I was really impressed with that. If I can see it here with all these different eyeshadow palettes open on my desk. So yeah, absolutely love this, and definitely the most similar one I think I've got now to the Hermes Rose, which is beautiful. So this one's a little bit more pigmented, not quite as smooth, but nearly, and really, really good. So half the price of the Hermes, and I think it's actually got more in it as well. So I just checked, there's 1 more gram. So 1 more gram of product and half the price. So really like that. The packaging not quite as luxe looking as the eyeshadow, and a lot more sort of thin, not so weighty, but still very nice. And then I just tried one of these lip products, and I was very pleased with this for a sort of lip. It is starting to bleed a bit here though. I think you need to be careful with this, it will move. So it's an okay gloss. I'm not going to say it's an amazing gloss actually, going by the fact that it's just moved a bit. I think I would have to top it with colour pretty quickly with this. I don't think the colour will last, but the hydration so far is lasting. And like I said earlier, I will put a comment below letting you know about the hydration on this. But overall, I think this is a fun collection, a very expensive one to be fair. So I think you have to love the colour story, or love the sort of colour stories you can create with it. If you do, the formulas are fantastic, very, very easy to work with. Absolutely loved them. They weren't the wow sort of shimmers I was hoping for, but they really work beautifully as toppers in the same sort of way the Mariel Ethereal Eyes does, but they do have a little bit more of glitter. They're not that sort of sheer wet look that you get with the Makeup by Mario, but you do get a bit more of a pop of brightness, so it depends what you're looking for. This is an alternative in a way to the Makeup by Mario. Obviously has less shades though. But I've really enjoyed it, and I very rarely don't with Bobbi Brown collection, so I've really enjoyed this whole thing. I really am glad I picked this up. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this collection. Are you completely turned off by the whole Pac-Man theme, or maybe the colour story, or did they draw you in and make you want to buy them? Like I said earlier, they are very expensive, so maybe you could get them as a Christmas present, put them on a wish list, or if you know a Pac-Man fan who loves makeup and maybe likes those sorts of shades, could be a very perfect gift for them. I would certainly be delighted with it if it was me. But also you might pick it up in a sale, so maybe look out for them in the new year. You never know, they could still be around and reduced. But from experience, I know that this one, the Emma Rosenthal one, was really hard to get your hands on. So I don't know, they do tend to be limited edition and they don't necessarily come back. But this one did seem to actually come back. So it came back for a brief period anyway, so it may be something you can hang around and wait for and pay less because it is so pricey. But anyway, you've got to love the theme and you've got to love the colours, otherwise it's definitely not worth the price. But the highlighter alone though, I think a lot of people would love, so it may be worth just getting the highlighter if nothing else, because that is gorgeous, unless you've already got that Hermes one. But if you've been eyeing up the Hermes, this is a good option, as I said. But anyway, overall I've been really pleased with this and I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you've enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It's so helpful to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my future videos. And if you're already subscribed, you're at the end of another video. Thank you so very, very much. And I hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care everybody. Bye.